Atlantis, a civilization so advanced, so powerful, that it supposedly vanished beneath the sea in a single day and night. For centuries, it has haunted human imagination, appearing in books, movies, conspiracy theories, and even modern pseudoscience. But where did Atlantis really come from? And more importantly, was it ever real?
Behind every moment lies a scientific wonder. I'm Kale, and welcome to SciCurios, where curiosity meets science.
The story of Atlantis begins not with archaeology, but with philosophy. The only ancient source that ever describes Atlantis in detail comes from the Greek philosopher Plato, writing around 360 BCE. In his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Plato tells of a vast island civilization beyond the Pillars of Hercules, commonly associated with the Strait of Gibraltar. According to the story, Atlantis was wealthy, technologically advanced, and morally powerful, until its people became corrupt. As punishment, the gods destroyed Atlantis, sinking it beneath the ocean. Right away, this raises a critical question. Plato never claimed Atlantis was something he personally discovered. Instead, he framed it as a story passed down through generations, originating from Egyptian priests and relayed through the Athenian statesman Solon. That distance alone makes historians cautious. Plato was known to use fictional narratives to explore philosophical ideas, especially moral decay, ideal states, and human arrogance. So was Atlantis simply a metaphor? Many scholars argue yes. Plato's Atlantis closely mirrors his philosophical concerns. The story contrasts an idealized ancient Athens with a technologically advanced but morally flawed Atlantis. In this reading, Atlantis isn't meant to be a real place. It's a warning. A civilization can be powerful, rich, and brilliant, yet still destroy itself through greed and hubris. But despite this, Atlantis refuses to stay buried in philosophy. Over the past century, researchers and enthusiasts have proposed that Atlantis could be a distorted memory of a real historical disaster. One of the most popular theories points to the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete. Around 1600 BCE, the volcanic island of Thera, modern-day Santorini, erupted with enormous force. It was one of the largest volcanic eruptions in human history. The explosion generated massive tsunamis, blanketed the region in ash, and severely damaged Minoan coastal cities. This event destabilized one of the most advanced Bronze Age civilizations in the Mediterranean. To some scientists, this looks suspiciously familiar. A powerful island culture, advanced architecture, maritime dominance, sudden destruction involving the sea. Over centuries, such a catastrophe could easily transform into legend, exaggerated and reshaped by storytelling. However, there are problems with this theory. Plato dates Atlantis to around 9,000 years before his time, far earlier than the Minoans. Atlantis is also described as larger than Libya and Asia combined, which doesn't match Crete or Santorini. These inconsistencies suggest that while real disasters may inspire myths, Plato's Atlantis doesn't align cleanly with any known archaeological site. Other theories place Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean, Antarctica, Spain, or even the Caribbean. Yet none of these claims have produced credible archaeological evidence. No ruins, no inscriptions, no artifacts, just interpretations layered on imagination. This brings us to an important scientific perspective. Myths often preserve emotional truth, not literal history. Human societies have always used stories to explain disasters they didn't fully understand. Flood myths appear across cultures, from Mesopotamia to China to the Americas. Rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age submerged vast coastal regions worldwide. Entire human settlements were lost, long before written history. For ancient people, these were world-ending events. Atlantis may not be a map to a sunken city, but it could be a cultural memory of vulnerability, a reminder that nature can erase even the most advanced societies. Modern geology reinforces this idea. We now know that coastlines are temporary, tectonic plates shift, and civilizations flourish only briefly in Earth's timeline. In that sense, Atlantis is less about the past and more about us. So myth or misremembered history? The most honest answer is both, and neither. Atlantis is almost certainly not a literal lost super society waiting to be discovered, but it may reflect real human experiences, natural disasters, societal collapse, and the fear of losing everything overnight. Perhaps that's why Atlantis endures. Not because it's hidden beneath the sea, but because it mirrors a truth we still struggle with today. If even the greatest civilizations can fall in a single moment, what does that say about our own? Do you think Atlantis was purely a philosophical myth, or could it be a distorted memory of a real ancient disaster? Why do you think this story still fascinates us today?
Science is everywhere if you just know where to look. Thanks for watching SciCurious. Until next time.